Yo, yo, yo. It's Marky Mark's Tarot. And I'm him. Am I trying to find me? Hey, Dan. How you doing? Marley? How the hell are you? I was on Facebook earlier today, right? And this guy was saying some basketball stupid shit, right? And like some people like say things just to like aggravate. So he said something, and I said, "Well, the guy that you're talking about, there is nobody else, so that's why the guy starts." And he writes back to me. He says, "Go home, you're drunk." That's all he said was, "Go home and you're drunk." First of all, I am home, and I'm not drunk. Never have been in a long time. So I wrote back to him, "Shut the fuck up, weirdo." So I clicked on his profile, and it says in a open relationship, and he looks like a weirdo. And I was like, bruh, you and your dog look like you're fucking each other. You fucking weirdo. So I wrote, "Shut the fuck up, weirdo." I was like, I would never comment on people's shit with a profile picture like you have and the fucking amount of shit you got on your Facebook. You're gonna get roasted. I don't think you check mine. I just roasted his dumbass. Some weirdo looking guy. He looked like he's on crack. I was like, these people, man, they just say anything. Sometimes it's best not to comment on people's shit because you don't know who you're commenting on, and you don't know who's commenting back to you because you're gonna get roasted. Probably, Dan. The guy, right? He's got like the guy that was talking shit. He's got like long ass hair, and he says he's in an open relationship. So that's weird in itself. And his dog is like one of those ugly ass poodles. and he looks just like the dog. The dog, you know how your owners resemble the dog sometimes? He looked just like his fucking dog. Long hair, ugly as shit, and looked like a fucking human poodle. If he comes back and says anything else, I'm gonna fucking roast him. I'm gonna roast him and his dog. I'm gonna be, look at your profile pic, bruh. You're in an open relationship with your dog. Shut the fuck up. I'm actually not gonna say nothing to him. He's definitely gravy trained. If you have a profile picture with you and your dog, and I looked at your other profile pictures, and I didn't see no sexy ass bitches, and I just see you and your fucking dog, and you say you're in an open relationship, that's kind of sus. That's some suspect shit, bro. Hey, to each their own. If you want to be doing that, then keep that shit off of Facebook, bro. I was like, this guy had the nerve to tell me go home, I'm drunk, because I told him that the guy he was talking about starts for his team, and there is nobody else, which is true. But he obviously doesn't know basketball. He only knows his dog's balls. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny just now. So I told him shut up because he's a weirdo. Because he's probably banging his dog, which is gross. But yeah. Anyway, some people you just have to understand that they're kind of never going to they're never gonna learn. They're just gonna be weird their whole life. But hey, there's a lot of weird people in the world anyway. There's tons of them. There's tons of weird people every day, all over the place. Nothing in this world surprises me anymore. When I see weird people, I know they're weird. That's for sure. And it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me to see more weirdos every fucking day. But hey, that's their problem. I meant to tell you, Marley, too. Remember that person that was in your room? Not tonight. It was the other night. What was the name? Moldova or something like that. Oh my God, I laughed so much when they asked a question. They said, according to my highest spirit guides, what did they want me to know? Or what did they want? Why? Oh, did they know that I cut the cords? I'm like, what the fuck is this woman talking about? And I told her in the chat that, you know, yeah, you was like, I don't even know how to answer. You were like trying to be nice to him, like say, your dumbass fucking question. What are you talking about? Like, if you're saying, I can't remember what they said, but it was something like, according to my highest guides, do they approve of me cutting off people from my past? And I'm like, what type of stupid ass fucking question is that? Where do you people come up with this dumb shit? So I said, only you can cut the cord, not your guides. Your guides don't cut cords. They're there to nudge you in the right way, just to cut the damn cords. How the fuck you gonna what you think your highest guides is sitting off in Marley's chat room? Like, oh yes, Moldova's here. Yeah, we're gonna sit here and hopefully she asks us a question to Marley, and we're gonna be here waiting for you. And we have a notepad, by the way, and we're gonna say whatever question she. Oh yeah, yeah. She asked. Yeah, she said. Oh yes, yeah. They did cut the cord with Frank and Beverly, and like, are you fucking stupid? Self guilt. They're going through self stupidness. That's what they're going through. Damn. Anybody? I honestly, I've never heard a question like that in my entire life. According to my highest guides, do they want me to know what they do? Are they okay with me cutting off the cords of some bullshit? And then she reworded it and said it again, but then said something else. And then when Marty was trying to tell her things, she was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's what I mean by So why you just didn't say cutting the cords and leave the highest guides bullshit? If you're worried about what your highest guides say, right? Then you should be listening to them if you want to know what they say." They ask dumbass questions. That's what it's called. I meant to tell you. I meant to message you. I meant to message you like the same, like about an hour later. I was gonna message you and say, "Hey, Marley, I forgot to ask you about what my highest guys want to know. You know, if they're cool with me." Oh my god, man. I don't know. I actually want to go back and see that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Cause I that honest to God, that shit was probably one of the fucking dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. I honestly like don't understand like these people. I think it was a day ago. No, I haven't wondered. No, these stupid ads are like the dumbest, the one of the most aggravating things in the world. Let me see if I can find. Oh, here it is. Makaya. That's her name. Makaya. I'm gonna find it right now. Shit, she must have erased the questions. She must have erased it. Oh no, no, it isn't. No, it's right. It's right here. My question is: according to my highest guides, did I cut link with any past loved? According to my highest guides, is my aura energy is weak. She can't even talk properly. Look, my question: according to my highest guides, apostrophe, comma, I mean, is my aura energy is weak? And then the other question was my question, dot, dot, according to my highest guides, did I cut link with any past loved? Are you fucking kidding me? And then you expect us to answer these stupid ass fucking shit. Dan said it'll cost $59.99 to find out. Yeah. I sent a video to Marley yesterday of this chick that used to like talk shit about me, right? I talk shit about her too, so I don't really care. And she charges $22 for a basic answer and $44 for an in-depth answer. And all she does is put on her glasses and she's like, "Oh, what is gonna happen for you is, you're gonna go take a shit tonight, and then when you finish wiping yourself and taking a bath, imagine yourself being cleansed as you watched all the dirty water go down your sink and down your drain hole. And after you do that, I want you to wipe off yourself and imagine that you're wiping off all the negativity off your body." And then she's gonna be like, "Hold on, I gotta take a puff." And by the way, don't go to Marky Mark's Tarot because he's gonna tell you the truth, and I'm oh shit, and I'm sorry, I want to tell you the truth for $44. For $5, you can get the answer you want. I really try not to diss people because I really don't want to. Like, I really don't want to diss people, but I can't take it anymore. Like, some of these people, they just need like to be checked. A lot of them are, then, especially with those type of names. Makaya, Makaya. So it's got to be, and the person doesn't have no. They don't know what they're saying. Yeah, I had to investigate the situation, Marty, because I wanted to laugh about it with you in here. It's only us in here anyway, so. But that shit was funny as hell, and I even told the girl in your chat. I was like, only you can make that decision. Only you can cut the cords. Because if you cut the cords with somebody, you have to imagine yourself doing it. Your guides can't do it for you. Your spirit can't do that shit for you. You gotta physically do it yourself. You've got to tell your mind, I don't want to deal with this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how like you don't like somebody and you cut them off and you never think about them no more. You don't want to think about them no more. You got to disconnect yourself. Nobody can do that for you. I can't tell Dan to forget about somebody he doesn't like and do it for him. He's got to do it. We all got to do it. The fuck are you people talking about? Honestly, Dan, I just wish people had like some more common sense, you know. In my earlier live, I was explaining to the guy João that comes in here, the Portuguese guy. I was explaining to him, and I was explaining to Maria and some other people that were in the chat, like how like people read, how people read, and you can tell the fake ones from the real ones, and you can like everybody has a different demeanor. Everybody has a different way, different character. But you can tell the ones that are bullshitting you. You can just tell, like, dance smart on Thursday nights. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's crazy because a lot of people like they think that this shit's easy. They think that, they can just shuffle cards and not ask God or spirit to help you. That it's all you. You're everything in the world. Okay, you keep fucking thinking that. You're gonna get a reality check real quick. 'Cause I tell people all the time, the people that are doing this shit, they don't really care about God and spirit and all that type of stuff. They think it's them. They think, yeah, I control these cards. I know how to read them. I don't need God. I don't need spirit. I don't need nobody. But some people like, they probably shuffle their cards and then they just pull them and then they know that spirit deep down inside is helping them and they don't really have to keep asking them and they have that like mentality that I know spirit's helping me. I appreciate it. And I'm shuffling my cards and I know I'm going to get the right answer. Or I know I'm going to help this person. But it's the people who like read you and don't even mention God or don't even mention spirit. Like they're the ones you got to watch out for. So Dan, you're talking about João is in the room that you mod for? That's who you're talking about? I've never seen him before. he just came in my room one day and started talking Portuguese to me. So, but I'm trying to help him out. He seems like kind of lost, so I'm trying to help him out. Like I kind of don't want to say like fuck you, go away type of thing. I mean, he doesn't bother me, but you know, trying to teach him some stuff. Okay, cool. That's true, Marley. It's very true. I was telling everybody today, like online, because I was like kind of telling people that I don't really consider myself, I don't consider myself like a person to sit here and get praised and have people tell me I'm right and then tell them that I am the person who does everything, because that's not true. If it wasn't for spirit giving me the answers, I'd be nothing. I would be nobody. I'll just be a guy on the internet that shuffles cards and hopes and prays that it works. I don't want to be that person, you know. Yeah, he's a gentleman. He's good. He hasn't like disrespected me or anything like that. He's cool. He just likes to learn, and he wants to learn stuff from me, and I'll teach him whatever he wants to know. That's cool. I helped out my friend Kay today. She came live after 6 years. The last time she was live on here was 2019. So she's a good psychic too, my friend Kay Combo. She went live today twice, and I went and helped her and shared the link on my thing, and a couple of my friends came in there trying to help her out too. Hey Tanya, how you doing? I'm always out to help people, like you know what I mean. I don't care. Like sometimes when I'm not around, you can go to somebody else, and hopefully the person that I recommend it is helping you. I don't mind helping out my fellow friends, as long as they don't talk no shit and they're disrespectful, then we're good. Yeah, I was helping her out today. I was in her room trying to sort her out, get her all sorted. So hopefully she goes. She says she's going to be live a lot on Saturday. Sorry to hear that, Tanya, but at least you had, somewhat of a good day in between. You had a cocktail, so it can't be all that bad. At least you got break. Why not? Why not? I think a small lady starting with my wife being a Catholic had her thinking I drink devil blood. Hey, why not? Does she believe in not eating meat? Like on tomorrow? Tomorrow we're not supposed to eat meat if you're a Catholic. Tomorrow I'm eating fish, so I'm good. And my breakfast I'll probably have my mom's sweet bread and some cheese. And then lunch I'm gonna have fish cakes, and then dinner I'm probably gonna have fish. Not fish cakes, but just regular fish. I have to see what everybody's doing first. And Easter Sunday, everybody's coming up here. Hopefully, my dad feels a little better. I think it'll be nice for him to be up here and out of the house and hanging out with all of us. Hopefully, he'll be able to come in the car and stuff. Still a couple days. Hopefully, he'll be all right. Today, when I went there, he was sleeping, so I didn't wake him up or anything. I didn't want to wake him up. I told my mom, he needs to sleep as much as he can because when you sleep, you get rest. Your body's resting, so it's good. No, I never found it. I never found it. I went to that other place and they didn't have it either. I guess nobody has Cascade pods for soap pods for dishwashers. But my sister said, fuck it, she's got like the soap thing that you put in like the little compartment. So she says it doesn't matter. She'll just use the soap for now. I told her we'll get some. On Saturday, I'll probably go to the because everything's closed tomorrow. I told her on Saturday morning I'm gonna go to another place and see if I can get go to the bulk store because the bulk store has like the big buckets of pods and shit. And I told her just use all the pods and I'll keep the bucket for stuff that I need, store stuff in it. She goes, "Oh, okay, that's a good idea." I was like, "Yeah," and that way it'll last you for like the rest of the year. Yeah, I'll find it. In the bulk stores, they definitely have it because people ain't buying this things like that from the bulk store. We just buy like a bag with like 30 of them in it. But the bulk store has like a whole bucket with like 100 of their fuckers in there. So it'll last to like the rest of the year. Because we use the dishwasher like maybe every 2 days. But we'll see. I'll see if I can get some. I'll find them. That's what happens in Bermuda. Like when there's something good, it goes all one time. Everybody buys it. And then it takes months for it to come back in. Or whoever's ordering this shit is an idiot and can't order things properly. That's what usually happens. I always tell my sister that a lot of people are idiots. They don't know how to do their job. They're like, oh, when it runs out, who cares? I don't use that shit. And the people who use it, I could care less what they're doing. Fuck them. I'm telling you, that's what they do. Ignorant people. All right, I'll give you guys a message if you want. Being that it's nice and quiet tonight. I was busy earlier, but it's nice and quiet tonight so far. So I have my Marky Mark's Tarot deck part 2, and I'll give you guys a message. Marley, you want one? Dan, Tanya, I'll give you guys one if you want. Marley says, "Yay! Thank you." Of course, I got time. Always. I got time and energy. I better not say that too loud. You might get so excited. All right, let me see what we got here. All right, Marley. Let's see what we got for Marley. All right, let's see what we have for Miss Marley. Oh, good Lord, what we got going on here? All right, so Everything happens for a reason. If you give 100%, make sure you get 100% back. If you want a good relationship, then love yourself first. And I can't resist because this is the last card. If you want a relationship, right, you have to love yourself first. And then when you do get a relationship, just use your condom sense. Marley's like, hell no, them gates are closed. Just remember to use your condom sense. That's all. Before you drop down your pants. I ain't saying nothing. You up? That was the extra card, so I just had to. All right, Tanya, let's see what we have for you. All right, Tanya. 1, 2. Okay, we got a lot of don'ts here. All right, don't blame life, blame the way you live it. I love that saying. Uh, don't believe everything you hear, unless I tell you. And you deserve love, not pain. And remember that self love is the best love. Ah, there you go. Don't blame life, blame the way that you live it. All right, let me see what I get. Dan said he's getting bandaged up. So he's going to come back in the mummy zone. There's mummies that they bandage all up. I can imagine Dan like that now. You're welcome, Tanya. Did I say you're welcome, Marley, too? Okay, yeah, you're welcome, Marley. You're welcome, Tanya. Welcome, guys. Now, let me see what I get. Let me see if I'm going to use my condom sense. Let's see what we got here. Oh, God. I'm going to open up my mouth. It says, think less and do more. Life's too short. Go and have some sex. Shit. That sounds good, but I can't just have it with anybody. I don't want to, Only way to find out is to ask. That's true. And I also got self love is the best love. Life's too short. Go out and have some sex. Who the fuck made these cards anyway? Spirit's like, come on, man. Just go out there and have some sex for fuck's sake. It's funny because I went out to I always talk about hoes all the time, right? So there's this hoe that I know, and she's a friend of my sister's, and she went to the same school we did, right? But she's older than me, right? I would say she's probably like 6 years older than me. Maybe she's probably like maybe 54, 53, something like that. I would say she's probably in her 50s, like early 50s. And I think she was in my sister's. I think she was like a year below my sister's class or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, right? Actually, I think she is 50, 51. Yeah, she's probably like 50, 51. My bad. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She's a hoe. And she's been married like 3 times. And she's got, I think, 2 kids from the same guy, right? And she's married to like a real asshole guy, right? He's like a real, I don't like him. He's a dickhead. And she's like separated from him apparently. And I, ever since my sister's been cool with her, I see her randomly now everywhere I go. Like it's so weird. I've seen her a few times, and she knows that she knows who I am, right? And I speak to her just out of respect, like and I know she's a hoe, right? So I speak to the hoes. And I went to a place. I went to like the post office place that I pick up my packages from, and she was coming out there. She was coming out with this big ass package, and I was gonna be nice and say, "Hey, you want me to get that for you?" Well, she probably would have hit me with it and said, "What, you think I can't handle it?" And I was like, "Well, I know you can handle a lot of D, that's for sure." So I didn't want to be rude or anything. I just let her go about her business. And she spoke to me. She said hi. I said hi back to her. And I said, "Look at this shit." And I said to myself, I would definitely hit it. If she came my way, I'd say, "Yeah, sure, you're separated. I'll give you some D. Fuck it, I don't care." Maybe that's probably why I got that card. Life's too short. You might as well bang her. She's a hoe. Then I said, "Nah, I better leave that alone. I ain't getting myself involved with these damn hoes. They gonna drive me fucking nuts." Next thing you know, I'll be buying her packages. Lord knows what she had in that big ass box. She probably had a self fucker in there. One of those machines you hook up and it's got a D on the end, and all she does is take it. Lord knows what she was buying. I was like, I'll stay out of that one. Looks like she had a package in there. Lord knows what she had in there. But she always speaks. She's cute. She's nice. She's sexy. And she always dresses very nice. But I know she's a hoe, like. I'll cost too much. Seattle's too far away. You know what? My sister loves Seattle. They went there, I think last year. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. I think it was last year. My sister, they had to stop in Seattle to go to somewhere. I can't remember now where the fuck they went. But anyway, my sister and my nephews, they love Seattle. They said it was so clean. It was so nice. Yeah, I know you're teasing, of course. You like to tease me. Um, but yeah, they said they liked it. There's actually a guy that I used to mod for. He's in Seattle too, but I don't mod for him no more. We don't speak no more, but he's there too. So I know a few people from Seattle. But yeah, my sister said she loved it there. She wouldn't mind going back. She said it was very clean. Well, she was in the city, and she said the city was nice. Like wherever she was, I can't. I don't know exactly where she was, but she said it was very clean where she was. It was very beautiful, nice looking place. She showed me all the pictures and stuff. I gotta ask her exactly where she was. Yeah, she didn't say she saw that. Maybe she was in a decent section. I don't know. But even the pictures she showed me was all nice. Ever run by homelessness and druggies now, great. You can thank the B administration for doing that. Now we got Big D in power, so he'll sort it out. Just remember that I'm here to save the day. It's gonna be fantastic. That's crazy. It's so sad, to know that there's homeless people in this world. It really is. In Bermuda, there's not that many homeless people. Some people would say there is, but it's all bullshit. Like there's a homeless shelter where the bums go out at night. I mean, during the day and at night sometimes to beg and to like borrow and maybe steal. But there's a place for everyone, man. It's just a lot of bullshit. Some people are just drugged up and they're just mental and they just go about their business. They can't help it sometimes. It's just the way they are. But the biggest problem for homelessness is drugs. When you're on them hardcore drugs, your whole life goes to shit. All your finances are gone because you're all drugged up. So these people do it to themselves. Unfortunately, they do it to themselves. And then when they get help, they can't handle it and they go right back to where they were. So a lot of homelessness is not really the government's fault. It's people's fault. You choose what you put in your body. You have free will to put things in your body. So it's your fault for putting this shit in your body. But I always tell a story about when I went to Boston a few times, and there was like a this guy. He says he fought in one of the wars, and he had no legs, and he was in a wheelchair, but it was just like from waist up. And he had like a little cup there. He never begged nobody for money. He just says veteran and needs help. That's what his sign said. And he had like his medals and shit. He had like all his stuff. He was like, he wearing bullshit. So I used to give him like $5 sometimes. Sometimes I'd give him $10. Sometimes I would even ask him if he wanted anything to eat. And he always remembered me because I told him I was from Bermuda. Now that's like legit. And he wasn't homeless, but he was like on the street looking for extra money, which is fine. And then you have some guys that were blind, missing parts, from the war and shit, handicapped people. I don't mind helping people like that. But if you got all your limbs and you look perfectly fine and you're like just scratching yourself or something and you're walking through the city with fucking, some roughed up Air Jordans and some clothes, you can work, bro. You can work. You just choose not to. You just choose to play victim. And that's what guys in Bermuda do. There's a lot of guys in Bermuda who play victim, and they're perfectly fine. They just act like victims, and they can work, but they just choose to make ends meet. They choose not to work hard. They choose not to be like in a better place. That's why like I don't really like emphasize too much on homeless people and bums and drug addicts and shit like that because they all do it to themselves. They all do it to themselves. Now it's different if you're like, for an example, it's different if you're an orphan or you're like you were given up for adoption, and you don't know where the fuck you're going. That's the worst for me. Like that's a shitty ass life, you know. But if you're doing drugs and you become homeless, that's your fault. If you know what I mean. Dan, you're back. Do you look like a mummy? Because you said you can get all bandaged up. So that's my feelings on those type of things. And somebody, if they want to prove me wrong, they can, but I doubt it. A good friend of mine, um, a guy who I knew for a long time. Uh, he used to smoke weed, sell weed. He was a good artist. You know, he used to draw a lot, and I used to get like when I started my DJ group. You know, he I needed his permission to start the group with the group name because he was the founder of the group. I was just a part of it, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, man. When you DJ, you can use our name. You can use the group name. You're a part of our group. You're a part of our crew." You know, yeah, sure, man, no problem. And I would visit him from time to time. You know, smoke some weed with him and hang out with him. His dad used to work with me. They welcomed me into their home many times. You know, they were good people. Even though we all smoke weed and shit, that's not doesn't mean you're a bad person. And he ended up getting caught up with the wrong people, unfortunately. And this guy, which he doesn't live here anymore, but I hope he rots in hell. He used to like deal with heroin, and he got my friend into doing heroin. And once the heroin gets into your body, like it can destroy you into pieces pretty much. It can kill you over time. And within a 6 month period, he died because the heroin fucked up his body. And when he died, it was heartbreaking for me because I knew that he was gonna be a big loss, and I know he made a fucked up decision, and I know he got caught up with the wrong people, and it's his fault, and he knows it's his fault. And that's why, like, when that happened, I realized that our decisions are our fault, our problem, but we have to take accountability for those decisions. Nobody's perfect, and everybody's gonna make fucked up decisions. Everybody's gonna make fucked up choices, and he's dead because of his choices. And when his anniversary of his death comes up, or or the anniversary of like his birthday comes up, me and my friend, we reflect on it. We talk about it, whatever, and it's sad, you know. And a couple years later, another one of my good friends, he used to drink a lot. He didn't do drugs, but he drank a lot. I wouldn't say he's an alcoholic, but he liked to get turned up. And his death was tragic as well, you know. But like I always say, I can't stress enough that people have free will to do whatever they want. You can stop what you're doing, you can better your life, or you can become worse. Like everything is up to you. And that's what I said in my earlier live. I can read you right now and tell you this, this, and this, but you can still leave this room and do whatever the fuck you want. You have free will. You can make your life better or worse. It's up to you. A lot of people go through like alcohol and drugs and bad problems and shit, bad relationships, divorces. All these things happen. Nobody's perfect. But you can always take accountability and start to love yourself and change your life. It's that simple. And people think it's so hard. It's not. It's all in here. You can change if you want to. I agree, Dan. You're absolutely right. But I feel like if something bad happened to you, and if you've been through like a lot of bad shit in your life, and I know all of us have, nobody's like not going through anything. It's impossible. We all been through bullshit. Even if it's not our bullshit, we still have to deal with someone else's bullshit, right? And all God wants us to do, and all Spirit wants us to do, in my eyes, in my like experience, is to take accountability. and just like try to make your life better. That's it. It's not a hard thing to do. You can make your life better overnight. You can make everything better by just trying, by just actually doing something and actually making like a stance, you know? And a lot of people, that's why I feel we're all here because we're all, we can all talk about these things as adults and be civilized about it. And a lot of people that have come in here and said their stories, and I know their stories. And nobody's perfect, but you can make your life almost perfect by taking accountability, understanding you're not perfect, and understanding that you can change your life any day you want. It's that simple. It's up to you though. It's really up to you. I agree to a certain extent, Dan. I agree that some people have to hit rock bottom, but some people don't need to hit rock bottom. They already know that they need help or they need to make their lives better, but they choose not to. And then they hit rock bottom and then they change their life because they actually hit rock bottom. But before you hit rock bottom, you know you're going there. You know you're on your way. So why do you change now before it's too late? People always need a reason to change. You shouldn't need a reason to change. You should just change automatically. Like, because you're not dumb enough to know, you're not dumb enough to think that you're not going to reach that bottom part because you're going there already. Yeah, stubbornness is a definitely a issue with a lot of people, but it's more common sense to me. You can be stubborn all you want, but common sense is telling you in the back of your mind, come on now. You know what's right from wrong. You know this ain't gonna work. Or you know you're going down here, so why the fuck do you do? You know, you're like, come on. Hmm. Well, it happens to everyone. Sometimes you gotta reach that, just like Dan said. Sometimes people have to hit rock bottom in order to change. But I believe that people already know that they're there, but they just don't want to change. They think because they got too much pride, or they got too much, to lose, or they just don't want to be wrong. A lot of people don't want to change because they don't want to be wrong, and they don't want to feel like people are gonna talk shit about them. You know, like I don't really care what anybody thinks. I'm gonna better my life for myself. I don't care what you think or how you feel about me, because what you think about me is nothing. Because I don't really give a fuck what you think. The only person that you should give a fuck about who thinks about you is God and yourself. So only God can judge you, really, because you got to come before Him one day. He's going to tell you, you fucked up. But, we'll sort you out now, or else you're going to get sorted in a deep, dark hole. And it ain't a coochie either, because a coochie will put you in a damn hole, literally, for some of these clowns. Yeah. But hey, I just hope that we all get to live, a better life every day. I really do. And I think that when we all talk about it and we all come together and help each other and pray for each other, it's a good thing. To me, it's like I feel like everybody that is around me is finally realizing that, you know, life's too short to be worried about bullshit, man. Dan, I hate to even think about people being suicidal, but it happens because people can't handle life. And I don't know how somebody can get themselves into that frame of mind of taking their own life. I think it's sad. And you know what? I'll tell you something from my experiences with suicidal, suicide, people who committed suicide and are in spirit right now. And a lot of the people that I tapped into and spoke to in spirit that did commit suicide, one thing they they show me is that they regret it. They all regret it, and because they hurt people. They never say I regret it because I hurt myself. They say I regret it because I hurt the people I love. So if you know committing suicide is not only gonna hurt, destroy your life and hurt someone else's, why do it? Those people that are hurt, why didn't you go to them before you committed suicide so they can help you? Why didn't you tell them, hey, look, I'm thinking about killing myself. I need your help, please. You know, if somebody came to me and said, hey, Mark, look, I'm thinking about killing myself, what can I do? And I'm going to tell them, look, that's the last thing you want to do. You know how blessed you are to not be sick and not have like a disease if you don't, and to have like life. You know how many people who can't see like you and you want to commit your suicide? You know how many people who can't hear, can't run, can't walk, can't talk, missing limbs, and you want to kill yourself? That's the first thing I would tell them. Like, you know how lucky you are? I wouldn't even tell him go spend a couple days in the hospital. Is gonna fucking treat him like a mental patient and give him medication which they don't need. A person who wants to kill themselves, the best thing to do is to talk to him as much as you can. Talk some sense into him, like I would. I would talk sense into him. I actually wish that I got to my friend before he committed suicide because he probably was still living right now. I would have convinced him to live. I would say maybe, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. But like my friend that committed suicide 2 years ago, I wish I would have got to him before he did it because I would have convinced him to not do it. I really think I could have. And but what's meant to be is meant to be. Like you can't stop it. If someone commits suicide, it's in their path. It's just what they did. And if you save them, it was meant to be in their path. And my cousin, that I don't even speak to anymore, he was one of my best friends and cousins. He wanted to kill himself. And I caught him before he killed himself. Because his mom said, oh, look, Mark, please help my son. He's going to commit suicide. He told me he's going to commit suicide. I can't find him. And he answered my call. And I said, yo, bro, what the fuck you doing? You can't. Don't you dare kill yourself, man. Don't do that shit. Oh, why shouldn't I? Why should I live? Why am I going to live? I don't have this. I don't. I said, but look at you, bro. You're one of the best people I know. Why would you kill yourself? And I said, where are you, man? Because I can't let you do that to yourself. So I ended up saving his life. And we don't speak anymore, but not because of that, but because of other things. And I know that probably runs through his brain every now and then. But people change. People are weird. But I remember stopping him from killing himself and convincing him not to, and told him good things about himself. Because all he had was bad things about himself. But I told him all the good things I liked about him, and it convinced him not to kill himself. And I made sure that I stay with him so he won't do it. I always worried about him doing it, but I'm so glad that I stopped him. And that's all people need. A lot of people who kill themselves, they just they think that they're worthless or they don't have no purpose in life, or they think that why me, why me, why all this bad luck, why am I getting all these things happening to me, like, but it's not your fault, like, it's just the way it is, like, you can't, like, the worst thing you can do in my opinion is kill yourself. There's always a way around life. There's always a way around. There's always a better way. You just gotta find it. And if you're around the right people, then you won't have to do that. Yeah, that's probably, you know. I can also tell you a story what happened on here when I first did mediumship. I don't know if I ever told you guys this story. But when I first did mediumship on here, I got a lot of people who committed suicide on here. Like, come to me in spirit. People would ask about them, see how they are and shit. And there was this woman that came in here and she said to me, "Oh, Mark, can you please connect with my late husband?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try for you, sure." So I connected with the guy. I see this guy around, his son, and he's in the bed with his son. And his son looks like he had like a special need, like he was like, was handicapped or something like that, or had, some, like, he wasn't handicapped, but he had like, some autism problems or whatever it was at the time. I can't remember. He had special needs, right? So the father in spirit was like in the bed with the kid. And then I said, "Hey, look, man, your wife wants to speak to you." And he looked at me and he said, "I'm here with my son, but I don't want to speak to that bitch." And I was like, "Oh fuck." So then I said, "Well, why?" He goes, "She was the reason I committed suicide." And I was like, "Oh, good Lord, what am I getting myself into?" Because this woman, she kind of like tricked me into like tapping into her late husband, right? And then she admitted that, you know, she done some dumb shit or whatever, and she was the reason why he committed suicide. And he stuck up his middle finger and told me, "Tell her fuck off and don't ever speak to me again." And that I got her letter. And I was like, "Oh boy." And after that day, I said, this is what I'm gonna be dealing with now, as a medium. I gotta look forward to this type of bullshit. And I didn't really want to do mediumship after some of those readings that I did for suicidal people because it's annoying. But guess what, Dan? He's watching it every time now in spirit. A lot of people who are in spirit are watching those games and watching. That's what I want to do when I'm a spirit. I'm gonna watch all the games for free, and I'll see everybody else there. You know, I always tell people that. But yeah, I back a couple years ago when I first started on here, I had to deal with that shit all the time. I had to deal with people telling me, that this person took their life, that and this. But one of the worst things is seeing how they did it, and that's what hurts me the most. Like, how could you like get to the point where you're going to get to that point of taking your life? Like, I just can't. I don't know, me personally, I don't think I can ever do that. Like, I would go get help, or I would like change my mind, or I don't have the guts or the balls to ever do that to myself. And some people would say, "Well, Mark, you don't know what these people go through." Yeah, of course not. because I don't allow myself to get to that point. My mind's stronger than some people. Everybody's mind is different. Everybody's life is different. See, because some people think that because they lose somebody, or they can't have something, or they have something really fucked up happen to them, they don't want to be embarrassed by it or live another day knowing that something happened, so they take their own life. But when you take your own life, you become a spirit and you end up seeing those people anyway. And when my friend took his life two years ago, um, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this can't be real, because I just saw him 3 days ago before he committed suicide, and he looked perfectly fine. And then when I heard how he did it, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That can't be true. Like, what? This can't be true. And it was. And he took his life for, like, because of certain issues. He had health issues. He couldn't deal with the health issues anymore. It was embarrassing health issues. So that's why, like, a lot of people say it's because, like, he didn't have no money and all this shit. And I was like, don't fucking tell me that. That guy's got money. Don't tell me he ain't got no money. He's got money. I say, you know what it is his health issues. He was embarrassed to tell people what issues he had health wise. And I always told everybody, I don't believe for 1 minute that he was worried about money or had financial problems. Some people say, oh, yeah, his wife was cheating on him. I don't believe that either, because if that was the case, his wife would be with the person that she cheated on, and she's still not with nobody. So people are just going to say anything, because you're going to say what you believe, what you think you know. But me personally, I don't think it's none of those things. I just think it was probably his health issues. Some people can't heal, and some people, there is no cure for something, so they just say, fuck it, might as well take my own life. But him, of all people, I would have never thought would do something like that. And it hurt to know that he did it. But I don't look at him differently, because I didn't live the life he had. And that's why I always stress to everybody on here. You think because you're single and you have nobody, and you never had, like for me, I'm single. I haven't had a relationship in years. I've never been married, don't have kids. Wish I was all of those things, but sometimes it's not meant for you. Sometimes it's not your path. And I accept it. So what am I gonna do? Like, do I ever think about taking my life? Hell no. No fucking way. Because I can use, if that part of my life is not good or not like what I want, then I can make the other parts better. And that's what I did. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. Your life doesn't have to be like everybody else's. Your life is not going to be like everybody else's. Because even if you do get married, you can still get a divorce. Even if you do have kids, something bad can happen to them. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So even if, because we're all programmed in life, all of us are programmed in life to go to school, go to college, get a good job, go get a house, go get a wife or husband, go get kids, go have kids, you know, and get a life insurance, and get, all these lovely fucking things that people tell you to go get. And then you die, and you leave all the things you worked hard for to somebody else, so they don't have to work hard. So that's the purpose of life. That's what you're telling me. No. That's what people want you to do. People want you to, they put a label on your life. So if you don't have a marriage, you don't have kids, you don't have a house, you don't have a car, you don't have a nice job, then you're a piece of shit. That's pretty much what people say. That you're a piece of shit. That you're not, you don't know what life is because you don't have those things that they have. I agree, Dan. Yeah, it's sad, but you know, it's I think that a lot of people dwell too much on what coulda, shoulda, woulda happened, or what why. Everything is why I can't have this, and why I didn't have that, or you know, oh, this person has this, this, and this, but I don't. Like, you should never worry about what somebody else is doing, what everybody else has. Who cares if you're the only one in your family that's not this, or is that, or that this? And you're not better than me because you have more education than me. You're not better than me because you're financially stable more than I am. You're not a better person than me because you shave your fucking face and you look nice and clean and I don't. You're not better than anybody. You're just as better. You're just as good as who you are, you who you want to be. But see, the people in the world want you to like be something that they are. And if you're not, then you're a piece of shit. Like, and that's what's wrong with a lot of people. They can't. They have a problem accepting their selves, and that's why there's suicide, and that's why there's so much like um, depressed people and people with anxiety and people with you know bad lives because they dwell too much on what they don't have or what people want them to have or what people think they should be or not be. But you should always be who you want to be. Why not? If you're who you want to be, then why are you worried about what I want to be? So if Dan and Tanya's not a psychic and I am, you guys should start to be a psychic. You want me to train you? Because if you're not a psychic, you shouldn't even come in here. You see my point? Like that's the stupidest shit someone ever can ever say. And you'll be like, well, I'm not a psychic, so I guess I have to go. You know what I mean? So like that's just like stupid ass shit. Or because you're not what I am, doesn't mean I'm better than you. And it doesn't mean you're not better than me. So why should that even bother anybody? But people have this stupid mentality that oh you have to have this and if you don't you don't know what life is. A lot of people tell me, oh, you know, you say you take care of your nephews and you're there for them, but they're not yours. Duh. Oh, so you don't know what it's like to have kids. No, no, I don't know what it's like to have kids. You're right. I'm not a woman. I don't get pregnant. I don't bear a child. So I don't know what it's like to have a kid. No. So what does that make me less than you? You dumb fuck. The amount of things that people say and make you feel like you're nothing and they're like better than you. That's what's wrong with this fucking world. That's what's wrong with these people is they constantly find a way to uplift themselves because they're better than you in their own little beady minds. You know, when really they're not. Yeah, granny glasses and a pack of smokes. You know? And that's why I tell a lot of people stop worrying about what everybody else says about you. Stop worrying about what everybody thinks about you. If you keep worrying about what somebody thinks and what somebody analyzes your life, or somebody makes a snarky comment about, oh, you don't know what it's like to have kids. No, 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 I don't know. I've raised all my nephews. I don't know what it's like to have kids. No. So I'm supposed to be with that kid all day and all night to know what it's like to have kids. So being with them for a few hours, I'm not gonna know what it's like. So when your kid goes to school for 6, 7 hours, or 9 hours, right, or whatever, how much it is, so that makes you less of a parent because you're not with them for a couple hours. So that means you don't know what it's like to have kids, because when they go to school, you become less of a parent. No, 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 that can't be right. That's what you're trying to tell me. Because I'm not with them for a couple hours, I don't know what life is like without a kid, to have a kid. That's what you're saying. Oh, but that's not the same. Yes, it is the same. So when your kid leaves your house and you drop him off at school to a teacher that's single and doesn't have kids, does that mean that teacher's not qualified because she's never had kids? So then why take your kid to that teacher that don't have kids? Because she don't know what it's like to have kids, so she shouldn't be teaching yours then. Smart ass. Am I right or am I wrong? See? There you go. It's called common sense. People don't have that, so they always try to make you feel like you're less than them, or more, or they're more than you. People always have to like dispute their lives with somebody so they could feel good about themselves. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people, is they always want to feel more than somebody else. It don't make no sense to me. And that's why people, and that's what a lot of reasons why people commit suicide, because you have the audacity to tell somebody, right? There's a fly on my thing. The audacity to tell somebody that you're less than me. So that person that you say that to, that can mentally destroy them and make them want to take their life, because you made them feel like you're less than them. And that's like a thing for that person, because that person's so mentally fucked up with what you said, or what you're portraying. And I say it many a times, like people just don't understand what they're doing when they say shit to people. You know, but people don't care. They just want to downgrade everybody else so they could feel good. Anyway, that's how people are. People are going to be people. It's sad for them that they're like that. You're damn right it does. That's for sure. And that's why, I love you guys, because we always, talk about, reality, and all of us are uplifting each other. Nobody is in here like downgrading each other and saying, oh, you're not this, you're not that. That shit's bullshit, man. You're not supposed to do that to people. But when somebody, tells me, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and I put them in their place, I'm like, you ain't fucking nobody. That's who you are. You ain't nobody. Because if you sit here and put yourself on a pedestal and act like you're better than me or better than somebody else, you need to get a reality check. You're a fucking human being just like me. Or because you know this about this and this about that doesn't mean you're better than me. You could be better than me at a certain thing, yes, but you're not just overall better than me. In your mind, you are, but and if you keep thinking like that, then somebody's gonna humble you. There's a person that always says there's always somebody that would do shit better than you. There was always gonna be someone better than you. Even if you think you're the best, there's always somebody that's better. And it's true. So if you have that mentality, then you'll be all right. Because then you'll never think that you're better than somebody else. My dog's snoring in the background. I guarantee that my dog snores better than yours. Snores louder than yours. Prove me wrong. And then somebody say, no, 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 my dog snores more than yours. My dog snores louder than yours. Look, listen to this. And somebody else will come by and say, no, no, mine's the loudest. Oh, these damn people. It's not easy. And I think in this day and age, it's even worse. It's even worse because people think that it's okay to like disrespect people. I don't know. There's five people in here, and it's only me and you talking. So I guess that everybody else just likes listening to me talk. But I'm gonna get out of here anyway. I need to go to sleep. Tomorrow's Good Friday. I'm going to chill out. I'm gonna go visit my dad tomorrow, see how he's doing. And I'm going to come on here at some point in time tomorrow during the afternoon, hang out with you guys. Marley said she's coming live too for a few hours. So between me and her, we'll have a good entertaining day. I could have put them all to sleep with my voice, Dan. Because some people tell me the next day that, oh, Mark, I fell asleep during your live. Yeah, he's doing good, man. He's all right. He's not doing like good, but he's sleeping a lot. But at least he's like eating because he lost a lot of weight. He lost like maybe 30 something pounds. So now my mom says he's been eating every day, no problem, and he's sleeping good too. He doesn't get up too much during the night. And my mom said that like she's worried about him because because he fell down in the hospital, right? On his ass. And he says that his ass hurts when he's sitting like down too long. So what it is, he sleeps on the side, and because he doesn't like to sleep with his stomach down below, like stomach down. So he's like sleeping on the side so his ass doesn't hurt. And but that's the only thing that's hurting him right now. He says the walker helps him a lot, but he's like even with the walker, like he still struggles. But he's been home since Monday, so it's only been a few days. He's got to gather himself back, and he's 81 years old, so he's gonna take a while to heal and to get better. But the main thing is he's eating better. My mom says he eats everything now. He's fine. Like he eats what my mom puts in front of him, he eats. So that's the best thing. That's the best news is he's eating now. Because before he wasn't eating that much. So hopefully now, and Easter's coming up on Sunday. Hopefully he eats a good plate of food and he sees everybody and gets happy and stuff. So I'll probably go visit him tomorrow and see how he's doing. I'll probably go down there in the morning. But he's okay though. I told my mom that if he's sleeping a lot, that's a good thing because at least when he sleeps, he gets his body's resting, his body's healing because he's not moving. He's stationary, like, and that's how I feel. Like I feel like if he's like laying down and he's sleeping, that's a good thing. He gets to rest, his body gets to recover, and he's not moving a lot. So we'll see how it goes. I just don't want nothing bad to happen to him. he's been through a lot. So hopefully, he'll continue to get better, which I'm sure he would. He will. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. But so far, he's okay. He's all right. I call my mom every morning and ask how he was the night before. Or my mom's just fed up because my mom always seems to be the person that takes care of everybody. And I told her, I know how you feel, mom. So I took her shopping today. She was okay. She got her groceries. So I told her anything she needs, I'll come and hook her up. Don't feel like she's gonna inconvenience me or something because she's not. So I took her shopping, made sure she got everything she needs because the holiday is tomorrow. And then I told her I'll come down and help her make the fish cakes. And then I told her I'll come and help her on Sunday to make the food and all that stuff so she doesn't struggle. Because no one else is going to give a shit. So I told her I'll come down there and help her. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, at least they're okay. They're fine. They got me. Yeah. Yeah, my mom, she just like I feel bad for her because she's always like doing everything. She's 79 and she needs to slow down too. But she can't keep still. Like she always wants to do something. She says she's fed up and bored if she doesn't not do anything. She says she has to keep moving and she doesn't get much sleep either. And she has sleeping problems. Like she'll sleep like for a couple hours and then when she gets up she can't go back to sleep. And I keep telling her that the best way to go back to sleep is to start thinking about things, you know? Like think about positive shit. And then when your mind starts thinking, it'll start thinking so much that it goes into a dream and the next thing you know you're sleeping. That's how I go back to sleep. I start thinking about shit. But positive things, not bad things. I'll start thinking about things and be like, oh yeah, yeah, I gotta do this. Okay, cool. Next thing you know, I'm snoring. I'm gone. To me, that's the best way to go back to sleep if you get up. Even when I go sleep, even when I go into bed, the first thing I do is start thinking about positive things. Or I'll think about a certain thing, a certain subject, a certain person. Or I'll think about what I have to do. You know, you turn on that white noise of waves crash. Yeah, a lot of people go to sleep with like that music meditation and all that time. I don't need all that shit. The only time I had problems sleeping was when I stopped smoking weed. When I stopped smoking weed, I couldn't sleep no more because the weed used to put me to sleep. And I used to always smoke before I went to sleep to make sure I went to sleep. But when I stopped, it took me a while to get back into my sleeping pattern. But that was 8 years ago. So, but now I go to sleep no problem. You know, I'll go to sleep. Sometimes I'll have bad nights. Sometimes I won't. The main thing is not to drink any soda or anything like that late. Because if I sometimes I'll drink like some Pepsi at 8 o'clock, and that's like a no because then I'll be up all night because that caffeine will keep me up. That's how my body is sometimes. So I'll try not to like eat anything late or drink anything late that'll affect my sleep. But you know who sleeps every day, all day? Right here, like, no problem sleeping. Yeah, there you go. That's why like I don't eat at night anymore because I used to get heartburn a lot and acid reflux. I used to get high and eat like cookies at like midnight and then go to sleep right away. Next thing you know, I'm at 3 o'clock. I'm up there choking and shit and got acid reflux. That's another reason why I stopped smoking, because it used to fuck me all up. I'm actually glad that I don't smoke anymore and I don't drink anymore. It's the best decision I ever made. This August will be 8 years that I stopped. I can't even believe it's been that long. Some people think I'm bullshitting. My friends are like, come on, man, you know you smoke. I'm like, no, man, I don't. I completely gave up everything. And it was the best decision I made for my body. It was hard gun, cold turkey like that, but I did it. It's all in here. You got to program your mind to do it, you know? Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's what happened to me. I would eat late, go lay down. Next thing you know, I have acid reflux. I'll feel all that shit come out of my chest, almost throw up, start choking in my sleep, gasping for air. I don't know how the fuck I'm alive. Shit. I got lucky as shit, not, you know, all those nights. I thank God every day I didn't die in my sleep all those years doing that dumb shit. But I haven't choked in my sleep ever since. I had to program my whole body again. But I'm glad I did. And I encourage everybody who's listening to do the same. Then you'll feel better. All right, Dan. Good talking to you, brother. I hope you I hope you feel better as well. Hope all's good with you and the wife. I know you said you got bandaged up. So hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll be here tomorrow, and our favorite redneck will be here tomorrow. She's probably sleeping in her wolfie blanket now. She ain't said nothing, but she's probably sleeping right now with her mouth wide open. She's probably, then she'll wake up and be like, oh shit, Mark's gone. Oh fuck. All right, guys. Yeah, my dog, you see her, love. Yeah, she's our poor puppy, you know. But she says she's coming live tomorrow, so we'll go hang out with her, and then we'll come over here and we'll have a good Friday. All right, bro. Good night. Take care.